The Tale of the Second King. Once upon a time, in a land far, far away, there lived a king who was loved and respected by all his people. He had a son who was his pride and joy, and everyone expected that the prince would one day become the next king. However, fate had other plans. When the king died, the prince was not yet ready to take on the responsibilities of ruling a kingdom. So, the throne was passed on to the king's younger brother, who became the second king of the land. The second king was not as well loved as his older brother had been. He was harsh and demanding, and the people soon began to resent him. They missed their beloved king and wished that his son could take his place. The young prince heard about the people's unhappiness and decided to do something about it. He knew that he wasn't yet ready to rule the kingdom, but he was determined to make a difference. So, he began to visit the villages and towns throughout the kingdom, talking to the people and learning about their needs and concerns. He listened to their stories and shared their laughter and their tears. As he traveled, he also studied with the wisest teachers and learned all he could about the art of ruling a kingdom. He read books on history, economics, and politics, and he practiced the skills of leadership and diplomacy. Finally, after many years of study and experience, the prince was ready to take on the responsibilities of ruling the kingdom. He returned to the capital city and challenged his uncle, the second king, to a duel for the throne. The second king accepted the challenge, but he was no match for the young prince, who had grown strong and wise during his travels. The prince emerged victorious, and the people cheered as he took his place on the throne. Under the prince's wise and just rule, the kingdom prospered. The people were happy once again, and they knew that their new king would always listen to their needs and concerns. And so, the tale of the second king became a legend, reminding all who heard it that true leadership requires more than just a crown and a throne. The Fable of the Donkey, the Cow, and the Husbandman. Once upon a time, there was a donkey and a cow who lived together in a farmer's field. The two animals were very different from each other. The donkey was lazy, stubborn, and always complained about his work. On the other hand, the cow was strong, hardworking, and always took pride in her work. One day, the farmer came to the field with his plow, and he wanted to use the cow to till the land. However, the donkey saw the cow working and thought to himself, "Why should the cow have all the fun? I want to try plowing the field too." The donkey went to the farmer and begged to be allowed to work. The farmer, being a kind-hearted person, agreed to let the donkey work alongside the cow. So, the donkey and the cow were yoked together, and they started plowing the field. However, the donkey was lazy and didn't like the hard work. He constantly complained and slowed down the cow's pace. The cow was getting frustrated with the donkey's attitude and decided to confront him. "Why are you complaining all the time?" the cow asked. "We're doing the same job, and I don't complain like you do." The donkey replied, "I don't like this work. It's too hard and boring. I wish I could do something more exciting." The cow then said, "But if we don't do this work, the farmer won't be able to grow crops, and we won't have any food to eat." The donkey realized that the cow was right. he decided to change his attitude and work harder. From that day forward, the donkey worked alongside the cow with a positive attitude, and they were able to plow the field much more efficiently. The moral of the story is that hard work pays off, and complaining never helps. We should take pride in the work we do and not shy away from it just because it's hard or boring. If we put in the effort, we'll be rewarded in the end. The First King. In a land adorned with undulating hills and verdant forests, there resided a great monarch by the name of Arion, who was held in high esteem by his subjects, as he was not only sagacious and equitable but also placed the interests of his kingdom at the forefront of his agenda. However, the authentic account of Arion's ascent to the throne was known to only a handful of individuals. It all began when he was a juvenile, living in a diminutive hamlet situated at the periphery of the realm. Being an orphan bereft of any kith or kin, Arion would wander aimlessly in the woods and fields, envisaging a better life. One day, while he was traversing the woods, he happened upon a small, deserted cottage concealed amidst the trees. Nevertheless, as he approached it, he discerned a faint humming noise and observed a dim luminescence seeping through the windows. Intrigued, Arion inched closer to the cottage and peered inside through the window. He espied an aged man, sporting a lengthy white beard and an aquiline nose, stirring a pot over a flame and mumbling to himself in an incomprehensible language. Suddenly, the elderly man looked up and locked gazes with Arion. For an instant, they both stood motionless, and Arion sensed a shiver coursing down his spine. Nonetheless, the man smiled amicably and beckoned Arion to come in. Upon stepping inside the cottage, Arion was instantly struck by the coziness and radiance that filled the room. The old man introduced himself as a formidable sorcerer and informed Arion that he had been expecting him. "You have a momentous destiny ahead of you, young Arion," he articulated. "However, before that, you must demonstrate your mettle." The sorcerer bestowed upon Arion an array of challenges, some facile, some arduous, and informed him that if he could surmount them all, he would be anointed as the first king of the realm. Arion accepted the gauntlet and embarked upon a voyage that would alter his life irrevocably. Throughout the years, Arion encountered numerous ordeals and adversities. He combated ferocious beasts, weathered treacherous terrain, and confronted his own uncertainties and qualms. Yet, he never lost sight of his objective and always retained his dedication and fortitude to his subjects. And when he eventually returned to the sorcerer's abode, following years of wandering and adventure, he had undergone a remarkable metamorphosis. He was no longer the orphan boy who had strayed into the woods all those years ago. He had become a king, vigorous, astute, and equitable. The sorcerer welcomed him with open arms and conferred upon him a crown and a scepter. "You have vindicated your worthiness, Arion," he proclaimed. "Now go forth and guide your people with valor and conviction, for you are the inaugural monarch of this land, and your name shall endure for generations to come."